Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forge Lines Forever. Today I have a 6v6 custom match here on the most amazing Roxas map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players. And yes, this map is very bright and very shiny. Commented by Hoppy Boy. We'll start with Team 1 on the northern side of the map, and then with the southern side, we see a nice little bunny rabbit, I guess, being drawn by somebody on Team 2 in the south. Starting off with Team 1's eastern player, we have in Pac-Man Yellow. It is the UEF of Universal V. He is a 1500. In the west direction, we have in Emerald Green, we have Ray with no emotion faces. He is a Cybran. He is an 1800. He is also the highest rated player on Team 1 and in the game overall. In Tropical Ocean Blue to his west, we have the Cybran of IP1 Your Face. I think something, I don't know what exactly what that's supposed to mean, but again, he is IP for short. Again, he's a Cybran. He is a 900. And then rounding out Team 1 in the northwest corner, we have in Glow in the Dark Green, it is Infro playing as an Aeon. He is a 1400. Moving on southward in Imperial Gray, it is Ruling playing as an Aeon as well. He is a 1200. And in the best color, of course, it is the 4-screen player of Zumuk-kun, I think is how you say his name. I think I'll say Zumuk for short. He is a Seraphim. He is a 1200. So for Team 1 side of the map, they have 1 UEF, and then they have 2 Cybrans, 2 Aeon, and then 1 Seraphim. So all the factions on Team 1 side of the map. Taking a look at Team 2's western side first, and then moving eastward, we have in Light Oak Tan, it is Turbo Puck playing as a UEF. He is a 1500. In Amethyst Purple 2 is East. The person who drew the bunny rabbit, I guess, is Ryfoon playing as a Seraphim. He is a 1700. He is the highest rated player on Team 2. To his east in Chevy Crimson, we have the UEF of Hoppy Boy, commenting that the map is very shiny, which it is. He is an 800. Southeast corner of the map here for Team 2, we have Iterbai, Yadabai, something like that. I was going to say Litterbai, but there's no L there. He is a UEF. He is a 1500. To his north in Rust, we have the UEF of Augustin. He is a 1200. And rounding out Team 2, we have another UEF. It is Wolf 78119. He is an 1100, again in orange, the color orange. So for Team 2's side of the map, it's very easy for faction makeup. They have 5 UEF, 0 Cybran, 0 Aeon, and then 1 Seraphim. So in this game, every faction is represented, just not on each team. Obviously, with the fact with Team 2 missing out on the Cybran and Aeon tech with 5 UEF, which means lots and lots of Billy Nukes, or at least I would hope so, for Team 2. And for these 12 players on the map, on this very, very shiny map, let's take a look at their reclaim situation. Currently sitting at, let's just say 80,000 mass in reclaim. And there's definitely kind of a void of reclaim pretty much near, not every main base, but pretty much all of the main bases. We do see just a hefty amount, not in the middle, and not on the outer edges, but pretty much the middle of the map, or the middle section of the map. Not the middle section, but the... Anyway, you get my point. It's kind of this eye of the storm where the storm's happening all around here, just not on the edges or in the middle. So it's a storm of reclaim for players to grab, and it's the 3,000, 2,000, 2,000, 1,000. It's there everywhere in the middle of the map. So lots and lots of reclaim to grab. And for 80,000 for 12 players, I think it makes it out to a little bit under 7. I think it's like 6.7, something like that. So just lots and lots of reclaim for players to grab. And we'll take a look, of course, at the additional mexes on the map. We'll take a look at Team 1 side of the map, carving the map pretty much about so. There is a quad mex position in the northeast. Almost looks like a player could have gone there, but it only ended up being a 6v6. And then southward, not really a lot of mexes in that southeastern side of Team 1 besides just that northeast corner there. There is a quad mex position where we see Ruling sitting at, and honestly, that's really about it in terms of clumpages of mexes. There, of course, are the customary one-offs, but for the majority of the map, or the match, it's going to be probably reliant on the early reclaim, investing that maybe into just eco straight up and then trying to scale as fast as possible, which is, of course, the trend with every game. But I think the team who does scale a little bit faster might be the one that wins, because there's not a lot of mexes to go around, so getting the artificial eco up, getting the mass fabs, while that nonsense going up, we'll see who ends up winning the game. Of course, it is a 50-50 shot, so put your bets in now, and we'll take a look at where these players are headed off to as well. On the western side of the map, we have Team 1's Muck versus Team 2's Turbo Puck, so it's 1v1 there. And then towards the middle of the map, it's kind of just a hodgepodge over here. We already see some upgrades started for Universal and for Ruling. Already has the range going for speed next. They are also joined by their teammates of Ray, Infro, and IP. So it's 5 players from Team 1 here. And then there's 4 from Team 2, being August, Wolf, Hoppy, and then Ryphoon, with Team 2's Ricardo player hanging out, going after his air facilities. Soon, I would imagine, going for T2 air. And I think that's everybody covered on Team 2 and Team 1. So let's see what these players are starting to scurry around the map in terms of units. We do see a little bit of pushing in on the eastern edge. We do see some forces inbound to intercept. They are a little bit late to the party, unfortunately. That mech will die. This set of mexes will die. There is a Team 1 PD built now, so that will somewhat protect the quad mex position to the north. But there are some mexes that will be lost in that engagement. And a lot of the forces for Universal are now kind of out of position, not near the comm. It might be a good opportunity to try to push that little facility there. We'll see what Team 2 ends up doing. Gun started for Ray. T2 started for Universal. Towards the western half of the middle, we have Team 1's Ruling pushing with the speed range upgrades on board. We do have a... Oh, I thought it was an upgrade started for Ryphoon. I thought I saw some text, but maybe not. Nobody else on Team 2 is going for upgrades, so they look... We need to focus a little bit more maybe on the eco, which 330 to 270 is that trend there. T2 land is online. T2 land is also online. There's the gun. I was like, I thought I saw a gun upgrade. And Ryphoon starts his gun upgrade. Ruling is just going to charge in. Again, outranges the T1 PD emplacement. So unfortunate for that little T1 PD. We'll kill that off here shortly, allow the forces to come in and assist a little bit nicely. And we do see that northeastern side, the units do go around the quad mechs, and there are some assisting mechs, not mexes, but units inbound from Ray to assist. Those forces, don't know if they thought they would get that far, but there's one more T1 mechs they could grab. It's 2 mass a second. They've already eliminated at least 10, if not 12. So it's some mass. It's not a whole lot, but it's something. Nano started for Team 2's Hoppy. Not going for gun first, which is interesting. Gun started for August. And we should see maybe some combi-com action here appearing, maybe not. Western side of the map, Team 1 is pushed, but not really pushing any further for now. I'm taking that mechs offline, but nothing too bad. We do see some engineers have dropped off in the main base, or outside the main base of Team 2's Turbo Puck. And engineers coming to reclaim, I guess, an interceptor. It looks like some artillery is saying, nah, not dealing with that. Looks like they tried to drop. Looks like they're not really getting anywhere. Don't know why they didn't build any more. Team 1, maybe Selens, or not Selens, but some of those flares and whatnot. No idea. Looks like they are going for them now, but a little too late. Towards the middle, we have the first combi-com action. Ryphoon is getting shot at by Ruling. Ruling is focusing on the comm, while Ryphoon is going after the units, trying to get that veterancy up. He's already 33% of the way there. August inbound from the east, and shield started for Hoppy. He has gun and nano already on board, and he is really scaling up that comm upgrade. It almost feels like that's the only thing he's spending his mass on. And 10.5 minutes almost. He's almost done with all the upgrades you would normally do on the front lines. That is very impressive. Again, like I said, I think he's really only focusing on an upgrade for T2 and going for engineers and whatnot, and mexes and just the comm. So putting all of that firepower, all that mass into the comm. I mean, it makes him a very good one-man army, but it can get blitzed down pretty quickly. So it's just something to watch out for. We do see a nano repair started for Ray. He has stealth already on board. Team 1 excise Team 2's forces. There is a potential for a run-by on that eastern side, but with T3 land online and Titans running around, maybe not. We do see some of those Obsidians making to the front line. Ruling has taken a hit, decent amount, about 33% hit points remaining. Almost at 2-star vet, though. We have August almost at 1, and we have Hoppy at no veterancy because, again, focused on the upgrades. And now we see Ruling falling back. I don't know why he's falling back now. Maybe getting some engineer assistance for maybe a nano or some regen or upgrades, which I have learned from some of you that the reason that Seraphim comms go for regen or first is that it is cheaper and you can regen units nearby, which means the total amount of regen you're getting is bigger than what you would get individually. So after they explained that to me, I went, that makes way more sense. Hoppy on the front lines by himself, a couple of units inbound from Ryfoon to assist, and take 8,000 almost damage for the shielding, and nothing too bad. All he has to do is regen it with some power, but again, being a little bit too aggressive might end up making him the first kill of the game. There are some bombers inbound, some T1s, but they are bombers nonetheless, are inbound. They're stacking up for another grouping. I would presume T2 air is done, going for T3, I would presume shortly. Team 1 already has T3 air online, so maybe first bomber in their future. And speaking of bombers, they are inbound for the comm. Ruling will most likely take some damage. The bombers will not get a second pass. The Asylum goes down. It looks like Hoppy might start pushing in once again. Surprised that Ryfoon isn't just going to throw his units in this engagement to assist Hoppy, but there are a lot of Obsidians. That means a lot of shielding the truth. How is Ruling's power doing? Not bad at this stage. Not too great, though. But again, he loses power. All that shielding, all that whatnot goes away. So those 1,500 additional hit points per unit just doesn't exist anymore. So gotta watch out that power consumption, especially when you're using shielded units. Eastern side attack once again. Looks like a counterattack trying to amass from Team 1's Universal. But there are some Titans moving to group up. And again, Team 1 and T2 units are really going to be a big problem for the Titans, especially if they stick together. So a big concern there for Team 2 at least. And Hoppy continuing to push, not giving Ruling time to build any sort of defenses. And we do see another Asylum going down, constantly killing off the mobile shielding. Overcharge kills off another Asylum. He's up to 3-star vet. Bombers inbound. Looks like maybe the PD is the target, maybe the comm is the target. And looks like, no, they're going after the intelligence gathering national radar system there, which means Team 1 is pretty much blind to what Team 2 is up to. They do know the comm is there, of course, but he's constantly coming in and off of radar and whatnot, so it's going to be hard for the PD to really shoot at him at their total range. T3, of course, has already been online for a couple of minutes. Restorers, interesting. Not Strat Bomber, not ASF, Restorers coming online for Team 1's info. Definitely a more interesting first or second unit. Usually it's Bomber, usually it's ASF, but not Gunship. T3 Air is online going for those pigeons, and we do see that Team 2 starting to catch up in the air department. T2 Air also online for Hoppy. And then T3 land. So no other air. No, T2 Air is also online for Ryfoon. I feel like a snipe is soon to be inbound. The Ruling is back up to about 50%. Really wants that shield upgrade to actually finish. That's going to give him a jump in hit points. But again, he's rooted to the spot. He's only at 40%. And if he's not looking good on power, which is not really great to be honest, that does not bode well. Notha trying to help out on the western side. Couple of Autumn stacking up on the western front. Team 2's Turbopuck has his land facility on the western edge, not in his main base over here to the east, which is interesting. TML plus UEF comm says info. No idea what that's about. TML plus. Oh, TML plus the comm. Oh, I see. He has to differentiate because, of course, the UEF commanders can build a missile on board. So it's not the movable missile launcher, it's just the stationary one. Going for Goose Snipe, ping low, ACU says Hoppy, and 70% and climbing for that upgrade. We do see Spy Point over top. We'll get a little bit of a readout what Team 1's up to over there. But again, that upgrade's really going to save his bacon if he does get shot at here shortly. Couple of bricks running around with Ray's commander to the north. Looks like a couple of units came to say hi. Universal is back in his main base. Team 2 being aggressive on the exterior side of the map to the east, but the pushing in on the western side for Team 1 is not looking good for Team 2. There are some PD emplacements already here, and most of the T3 units have been dealt with. We do see that Turbopuck is here as well with his comm. He has gun and nano on board, so he could maybe stand a little bit to sit in the middle. Not in the middle, but just kind of a little bit further forward, but looks like he's going to do fine. We do see advanced range started for Ruling, so he does get the additional 8,000. He's almost back up into the... there he goes, back up into the green now. He's been there for a while, and Team 2 is definitely aware of where he's been at, which I'm kind of surprised they haven't tried to... I mean, they've been shooting at him a little bit with some bombers and whatnot, but not really trying to go for the snipe yet, I guess, would be the key word in that statement. We do see a nice little restore being bullied by interceptors. That's maybe not the first... Oh, no, there was an ASF in there. Okay, it wasn't the only unit, but I was going to say, it wouldn't be the first time I've seen interceptors try to bully the higher tech units, but I don't think I've seen them try to bully restorers. Missiles starting to rain in, Ruling. Again, that advanced advanced range almost done. So he's on Aeon Sniper Commander mini tank so far. We have artillery being built back here for Hoppy. We have missile launches and artillery being built by Ryphoon. Hoppy's still there. And Team 2, I don't think they're going to launch an assault anytime soon. They've already knocked out some mexes. In terms of eco, they're leading by almost 200. It's 170 or so. And now with the attack from Team 1, there's a juicy reclaim for Turbopuck to grab and supercharge his not only defenses but his units as well. We do see Team 1. Oh, maybe it was power related because they jumped decently much to catch up to Team 2 now. Now it's dropped to about 60, 70 or so. Why is there a random Salem here? Why? Why is that there? Who's building those? Building them right here. Because why not? Team 1's IP is building Salems in a 85% land map. I mean, I've seen it done before. It wasn't the first time, but there's it's just funny watching a naval unit become a land unit. It's usually the other way around. We do see Ruling, I guess, tried to make an assault while I was distracted with other things and didn't really go well for him, it looks like. Looks like the Restorers, they're going to be fine underneath some AA coverage, but they're just not as effective as maybe Team 1 wants them to be right now. Lots of Titans over here getting bullied by some bricks. Looks like the Titans are going to say, nah, I'm kind of done with that attitude from those bricks, and they're starting to charge in. They are getting thinned out, but more and more bricks are coming into range. They're kind of getting body blocked with the pathfinding whatnot there towards that little ridge-ish, whatever the heck that is, geography. We do see an attack from the east from Team 2's August, trying to pull back Team 1. He did a pretty good job of it. It does allow Team 2 to push in just a little bit more. They're not going to gain a whole lot out of it, but it gets them away from the front line. Mex goes down, and the Volcano grabs the other missiles. So something was protected, but something was not. So a little bit lost in eco there for Team 1's Ruling in the middle there. Again, that's one of the two quad mex positions. Team 1 has already lost this one. I don't know if they'll get it back anytime soon. We do see more units to the northeast, a couple of Titans as well, but again, a bigger amount of units versus smaller amount of units, and they're the same units pretty much. So yeah, not going to go well for Team 1 on that front. Do see a couple of air scouts getting a little bit more read out what Team 1's up to, but again, they've pretty much done most of the work in pushing them out of that middle of the map. We don't see much aggression yet from the western side again from Muck. Looks like he's maybe focused on other things. Yep, focusing on a chicken now. Don't blame him there. Maybe that'll give him enough punching power to push through this. FAF Boy started for Turbo Puck. Barely started on that, I might add. I haven't checked on Reclaim. Team 2 actually a little bit behind in Team 1, 80 to 69K. Team 2 Total Mass accrued in their favor, however. And that's partially being driven by the just natural mass per second. Ruling back up into the green. He's at 2-star vet with the 8,000 additional hit points on board. Of course, Team 2 try to get a secondary facility online. That's going to get canceled immediately by Ruling. Gives them some veterancy, of course. We have that couple of artillery emplacements there and there, which I don't think these ones are in range. They are not within range, but the other ones, the Thuthams, are, and that is going to start hurting Ruling's shielding. Pretty much he's going to sit there by himself. If he sends his forces in, that's just a big amount of units for the artillery to AoE on, so probably not the best idea to send them forward. But he really wants to keep this spot for whatever reason. Artillery is going to start hitting those units moving westward. And hitting the shielding at a bare minimum. It will protect a couple of shots, but it's not end-all be-all. Again, it's Gun Nano Gun Nano and Shield for Hoppy, and it's advanced range, speed, and shield on board for Ruling. We do see the Percy's over here. The Titans over here to the northeast engaging the bricks of Team 1. Of course, Universal's also here. He has some PD as well. That's a decent amount of T2. Might want to mix in some T3 maybe right about here or so just to get, again, a little bit longer range firepower. But he definitely wants to get back into this position to the northeast. The bricks are a little concerning, of course. There are some Percys, so a nice eclectic mix of both. But I think the Titans might come out on head. It just depends on if the Titans can engage the units at one time. If it's just kind of 2s and 3s, not probably going to work. But for the most part, it looks like they're going to win that fight. It's going to be heavy casualties on both ends, but I think Team 2 might have the edge just barely. We do see Ruling continuing to push, and now they're going westward. They're going after Turbo Puck's base over there. He could send his comm that way. Probably doesn't want to get overwhelmed, however. And we do see Team 1's forces still stacking up. How's that chicken going? It's almost done. Infro give me mass as Zermuck, and we do see some Harbingers also assisting Ruling in that western attack, or westward directed attack. We do see another Salem and another one just charging forward into Team 2's side of the map. They are slowly chewing through Team 2's forces, but again, those Salems are designed as essentially mobile T2 artillery. Sending them into the mix of all the other stuff. Probably not the best idea, to be honest. And those look like those forces from Team 2 are still going to sit there. 22 minutes on the clock and climbing. We do see Turbo Puck's comm now on a transport. They're going this way. And maybe we'll see forces from Team 1, the additional ones from Ruling, maybe go this way. But there's a comm intercepting those Harbingers, so I highly doubt it. The Asylums have already reached the position, at least the majority of them, so they're not going to be as helpful. Turbo needs to walk just a little bit, couple meters north. And we do see Autumns are inbound. Turbo is going to get double teamed here shortly. Again, those units from Rifun are still en route. We have spy planes over top to get a little bit more readout what really is going on. That Fat Boy does get finished, which does mean it will assist quite severely. Transport will drop off some Percys right on top of forces from Team 1. That's going to help out a ton. There goes the Obsidian shields and then the Obsidian itself. Turboplex can get some veterancy from this for sure. And now we have those Autumns moving southward. And I don't know if that's really going to work. Team 1, I mean, they went for it, but even if the Fat Boy isn't included in that math, I mean, between the comm and Percy's landing and Titans inbound, I don't think it really would have done a whole lot, to be honest. By the time the forces from Team 1 would arrive, these ones would already have been dealt with. And then he could have just fell back a couple of meters and then just engaged these anyway. So it was a nice attempt, but Team 2 had way more time to prep for it, so it wasn't going to happen. But I do see some prepping going on with some strats, though, from some Ambassador from Team 2 Yurabai. Still think I'm saying the name wrong. Do see Anomi has 6 of them online. He might be going after Ruling. Again, that's 18,000 damage. Still not enough to one-tap the comm, but it would be enough to really hurt him. Chicken is also now online, moving to the front line. Second chicken? No, second chicken for Team 1. I believe that is the second experimental built in the game. The Fat Boy was the first one. And no other experimental coming online for Team 1 as of yet that I've noticed. And the Strat Bombers are on the move. Don't know where they're going, but they're going somewhere. Ruling is falling back. Looks like they might be on a collision course with the comm. Team 1, where are your ASFs? They're over here. We have transports doing some stuff over there to the east. And looks like Team 2's attempts to take this land is probably not going to work. And yeah, they're going to go after the comm. And there's no ASFs in the area to deal with this. There goes the payload drop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All payloads land. He drops to about 4,000 hit points. It's only going to take 2 bombers, and it's going to be a win. ASFs are inbound from Team 1. I don't think he'll make it. They'll make it in time, though. And there goes 1, 2. There he goes. So Team 2 scores first blood. Everybody did make it to about the 50% mark in terms of the game's length. But they did make it past 20 minutes at a bare minimum, which is always lovely to see. But it is now a 6v5 in favor for Team 2. Well, that's so not worth it. Reclaim that, says Ruling. And, of course, the majority of the recon did land right here. I only see 4 of them, though. Sorry, 5 of them I can count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's just stacked on top of one another. Okay. I was going to say, I was like, wait, I only see 5 of them. And Hot People are getting hit by some Harbingers. Nothing too bad, though. He still has that 19,000 shielding. We do see those Othams from Team 2's Riffoon is inbound, and the Chicken as well. And Team 2 has some defenses online. Not a ton, but definitely click on the Ravager. Yep, focus on the Chicken. That's going to be the most impactful thing to do with that. Don't send the Fat Boy forward, though. Go backwards, go backwards, go backwards. It's still going forward. Oh, and the Fat Boy's going to just turn around and take the majority of the damage there, at least the shielding at a bare minimum. We have some Titans, not even Percy's there. Turbopucks there. Gunships are inbound. Fat Boy gets underneath some shielding, maybe. He is going to get underneath shielding, and now he's dead. The Chicken will actually kill off the T3 land headquarters, which is going to suck for Turbo. And there is some shots to the comm. He survives, but the attack is still going. The T3 land headquarters is dead here momentarily, and not dead? Still not dead. Still not dead. How is that thing not dead yet? It's right there. Don't tell me it's one of those things where it's so close to the ion storm that, oh, okay, there it goes. I had to zoom out for it. But Team 2's western side not looking too hot. He has more PD being built east of his, on the eastern half of his base. Those gunships did help out a little bit. And Team 2's player Riffoon going for advanced nano. He has T3 and ARAS on board. We have a ton of bricks massing on the eastern side, as well as a Monkey coming to join them. We do have a satellite online for August now, 27 minutes on the clock. He's just going for 1 now, so it's not too bad yet. It obviously can go downhill from there. 1 turns into 2, 2 turns into 5, and 5 turns into 1,000. It's usually how it goes. It's like, oh, I'll build another one, and then it's like, oh, I'll build a couple more, and it's like, I'll just build all of them. That's kind of how things go. Gunships, again, helping out. He does lose the headquarters. He does lose his Fat Boy, which is very unfortunate both ways. But he is getting some reclaim. He is rebuilding his Fat Boy. Probably might want to rebuild the thing that builds the Percys, to be honest. He might even build it in this base. Just upgrade a regular T1 and call it a day. Do they even have ASF? Sat says ruling. I think their air put all mass into strat snipe. I wouldn't say all mass. I'd say a portion of it for sure. A decent portion of it for sure, but not the entirety. Shield being built, and it looked like water, but that is the colorization of the environment for the the hills and whatnot. Now we have Yudabaya, Ras, and Shield on board, so sitting at a decent amount of hit points, 31,000 to be in fact. Mobile T3 artillery coming in to help the brick walls kick out Team 2's August here. And brick walls are forming. Looks like there's 2 of them. There's a 3rd one on the way with a monkey wood, so almost at a brick house. Only Percy's, says Riffoon. And mass for Ythotha is spare, says Riffoon. Mass for Ythotha is spare. What? I don't know what that means. Does he mean he doesn't have the mass? Or if you have... Oh, I think he's saying maybe if you have the spare mass, please send it to me for the chicken is probably what he means. That makes way more sense other than the mass for it is spare. Or he's saying is lacking or something. It's just a really weird way to phrase it. Anyway, gunships over the top, thinning out the remaining bricks from Team 1's IP. We have ASFs inbound. First major engagement favors Team 1 for sure. There is some AA nearby. Not a lot, but again, it's something. And then they just get demolished by Team 1's ASFs. It looks like a little bit more join the fight. We have ASFs, a couple of them inbound from Hoppy as well. Not a lot, but they'll add to the mix a little bit. There is some flak nearby, so, it's chewing through it. And since the units are flying in and out of the little flak clouds, it is doing a little bit of AoE damage as it flies in and out of. But that's not great. We do see that Wolf is falling back. We have a couple of spearheads going after P-Gens. Eastern side has collapsed for Team 2. Gunships are inbound. There is a little bit of AA coverage, I think. I see some parashields. I do see some AA back there. Oh, there's a lot more bouncers. That's where the AA is coming in. Run, says Hoppy. Wolf is getting out of there. Gunships are going to just be mauled to death or bounced out of there one way or the other. ASF's inbound to kind of maybe shadow those gunships. Team 1's going to send their ASFs as we speak. 30 minutes almost on the clock. Shield done pretty much for Turbo Puck. Satellite going after Mexes in the north. And it looks like SMD's not built yet for Team 1. Oh, there's one there. But eastern side, there goes Team 2's Wolf to Ray. Either he tried to stay there and do as much damage as he could, or he just got... I mean, he should have gotten out of there. I don't know why he didn't keep going back, but okay. He's gone. Team 2 loses a player. It's now 5v5. You know, I thought it was, oh, okay, the gunships will come in a little bit, and then the comm will just retreat back. But no, it looks like he just walked in, and or walked back in, I should say. Fat Boy is almost done. That's going to help out a ton. Ravagers trying to be spammed up as quickly as possible. Probably might switch over to T2 PD, to be honest. Ravagers will help, but they just take longer to build. Fat Boy is going to be finished before the Monkey Lord gets there. I don't know if it'll get out of range in time, though. And we do have August in the base for Team 2's Yutabai as well. The Novax is probably the main focus of Team 1's inbound aggression now. Fat Boy needs to get out of there immediately. Where's it going? It's going that... Oh, it can't go that way. It's got to go the other way. And Ravagers continue to be built. You need to build them faster. T2PD will do at least some damage to that Monkey Lord. That Novax is probably going to die, to be honest, unless it just immediately dies by something from Team 2. I don't see gunships anywhere. I don't see strats anywhere from Team 2, so it is going to get that Novax. And honestly, a Fat Boy is worth less than a Novax in comparison. There it is. And it's gone. Now you can get the Fat Boy. Fat Boy's going to be killed off. Team 2 has lost 2 bases on the eastern front. Not looking good for Team 2 in that direction. If Team 1 keeps pushing this vector, this is not good long term. We do see, though, Team 2's Riffoon charging right through the middle of the map. We have Ruling Zone base being run over by, well, being ran over. Not by anybody. It's being ran over by Riffoon. We have a GC online, though, for info, so that's going to stop that real quick. He'll still lose the base, but it won't go further than that. Monkey Lord doesn't really know what to do with its life now that its main goal is accomplished. And Drop NG says ruling. Chicken says ruling as well. So it's not really going to do much at this point. There are some AA in place, AA mobile units nearby. Bombers are constantly inbound. 77,000 mass killed off by the Monkey Lord. Building more Ravagers. I mean, the Ravagers are nice. They output a lot of damage, but the thing is that you need damage immediately, and the T2PD are cheaper. Still building Ravagers, and they take a second to spin up as well. Ooh, that one didn't fire a whole lot. Ooh, that's not looking good for Team 2. That Monkey Lord, ooh, that's not good. And there's still the Brick Force inbound as well. There's a lot of bouncers. Team 2 just doesn't have anything on the ground to deal with this. And the Bomber's going to help out a little bit. 5,000, 4,000 or so. More Bombers inbound. They're getting blown out of the sky before they get anywhere near the Monkey Lord. And 1,765. There he goes. Monkey Lord is dead, but there's the air grid that's in danger. Same with the one down here. Less likelihood because there's a lot of things for the bricks to chew through before they get there. But a chunk of the air grid will die, and all of those missiles are just chasing all of those units. We have an SMD might be targeted by Team 1. And you need to go after the... I mean, it's hard because you want to go after the bouncers, but look at them just carving up those Team 1 bombers. There's a sniper bot there as well from Team 2. Chicken is slowly catching up. And it's just not looking good for Team 2's air grid. Nuke says Zermuck. Talking about the nuke from Team 2's Turbo Puck. And the bricks are getting few and far between. Still more Ravager. You need stuff that responds faster. T2 PD. Even T1 PD at this point because they're coming to say hi. They're trying to spam up bombers, and it's slowly chipping away, but the bouncers are really just causing some havoc for those Team 1. They can't even get off the assembly line before they're shot at. And Team 1 PD, there you go. Get some Team 1 PD online. Again, some of the bricks are in range. Going after P-Gens. A chunk of the air grid is gone. T3 air headquarters is dead. Wait, where is the T3 air headquarters? Oh, it's right there. In the middle of that air grid. Looks like all the bricks are dead now, but that was a devastating attack from Team 1. Wiped out 2 bases and got a kill and took out a huge chunk of an air grid. So Not looking good for Team 2, but they do still have the... Oh, well, they did have Eco for a second, but I guess not. Team 1 is in the lead now. Nuke, again, is online and not loaded, but it is online. Eastern side, Team 1 is continuing to push that pressure point. And we have Team 2's Hoppy over here in the middle helping out with defenses from Team 1's IP. We have an inbound attack from Universal now, and looks like some SACUs are here to build a bunch of kennels. You might just use them for firepower at this point. There's actually not that many Percys here, which is a good thing for Team 2 because they don't have to worry about a lot of direct fire weapons. And the Fat Boy does have a lot of firepower still, but looks like the Percys are not going after the base directly. And SACU does die in that mix from Team 2. Again, it's just they're throwing whatever they can to stop this Percy push. I don't know why they even need to. They have a chicken here. Might as well just save the 11 mass a second plus the cost of the actual SACU there. But, you know, killing off the units faster means it's less of a problem to deal with for longer. So, or sorry, the same problem to deal with for longer or whatever the phrase is or whatever. But they dealt with it, but they still have to deal with this. There's not as much AA, though, from Team 1 here. There's some Cougars and some Bouncers, but there's not as many Bouncers as there were earlier, which is a good thing. Bad news is there's still that thing inbound. Kill, Scissor, Muck, talking about Hoppy. Don't, that's awful. We have 2 Fat Boys inbound on the western side. GC's moving in to intercept, and the game is not looking too great for Team 2, but again, there are some vectors for Team 2 to win this. They have that nuke that's online. Looks like they wiped out a couple of things in that base. SMD is online and loaded. SMD is online and loaded. SMD online and not loaded, so maybe an attack vector there. And this base, SMD is online and not loaded. So there are 2 bases at least that have SMDs that are not loaded. Bomb drops, lands near some units, takes out a chunk of them. So there's that. Team 2's Yutabai still taking a lot of damage in terms of losing mexes and power and mass fabs and whatnot. Eco is heavily now in favor for Team 1. It's 2.3 to 1.5 in favor for Team 1. And Bomber drops another payload right next to it. Oh, that's going to hurt that Ythotha. Oh, that was... I don't think that was worth the damage to the Ythotha. That's for sure. Cougars being built off the back of the Fat Boy. Love to see it. Might just invest in some Skyboxers because they have flak and it's... I mean, the Cougars are nice. They're good for T3 units, more chunkier units. But they're still good nonetheless. You know, they still do the thing. But the flak would be a lot better because it's a lot of Team 1 bombers that are being sent at them. It's just weaker, just spammable units that you want the flak to be used for. And again, they are doing trickling amount of damage to the shielding, but not enough to really be worrisome. Team 1 might just come in and wipe out the ASFs entirely for Team 2. And there's another chicken online for Team 2's Ryphoon. There's, again, the bomber that's hiding over here to the west. Definitely smart move there. Nuke is inbound from Team 2. Now the question is, does he go for an unshielded base? Does he go for a land army? Does he go for exterior mexes, which he is going for exterior mexes. There's a Soothsayer there and an Omni, so nice combo, but it is going to get blown up here shortly, so that's not fun. It will maybe open a door for Team 2 to send their forces northward. There's a chicken going to be facing a Monkeywood here shortly. A couple of Othams as well, but it's a couple of bricks here for Team 1 as well. Monkeywood's going to take some initial damage. Looks like he's going to fall back. And some bricks actually block the shot going after the Monkeywood. Nuke is inbound. Oh. That was close. Boom. Wipes out 1 transport, everything here. And again, actually not a lot of mexes, but they killed off the intelligence gathering. So this is what Team 1 can see. They lost the Omni, so they don't know what's going on down there. All the SMDs, I think, have loaded, and a secondary SMD built over here to protect that little bit of a fledgling air grid. That's the word, not fleshling. But could have gone after this base, could have wiped that out, could have allowed the Fat Boys to push a little bit further. Did he lose a He did lose a Fat Boy. That is unfortunate for him. And it's still a 5v5 game. We've had 2 deaths. We've had Wolf for Team 2 and Ruling for Team 1. And it's a 37-minute game so far. Let me know down in the comments if you think is going to currently win this game. Of course, if you haven't, because, well, why not? At this point, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching this point in the video. Hopefully you enjoy. And again, as always, let me know how I can do better, what you like, what you don't like about the cast, myself, whatever the case may be. Thank you so much. I always appreciate those comments, trying to make the video just a smidgen better, just a little better, just tweak this, tweak that. And again, This video should be in 1440 as well. Yesterday's video was the first one in 1440. I had to change some settings in my not recording software, but my editing software. So hopefully it did the thing that it was supposed to. If it didn't, please let me know so I can fiddle with it. Because I know getting a little bit more resolution would be nice for those on those bigger screens. And it is nice to just have things a little bit better quality. We do have a bomber inbound. And it is going to drop a payload on a ton of bricks. Oh, that's about half. That's going to hit. And it's about half. There goes the bomber. It's in the high yellows, and it is at 1 vet, so it's regenerating a little bit faster. That is good for that unit, especially because it gets killed off very quickly, usually. And some ASFs engaged from Team 1 and Team 2. Restores are helping out a ton, going after the chicken. More ASFs are inbound, though. Team 2 is going to win that fight just because the additional ASFs from Ryphoon. And the question is, are they going to continue to engage? And the answer to that question is probably. If they can go after the restores in time, they might actually save the chicken. I don't think they will get it in time, but, you know, one can dream. Oh, no, it got some veterancy on the ground, so actually, no, it will survive. It's now on 2-star vet, and now they have attack vector going west where there is some PD. It's not going to be an easy win, and now we see the chicken falling back to intercept the chicken, which does open up an attack from the FAF boy, but it's nowhere near that. 2 bombers are inbound, though. And with the ASFs killed off from Team 1, I don't know what they're going for, but they're going for maybe the air grid. They're going in that direction. There is a nuke online for Team 1. Don't know if Team 2 knows about that. That is Team 1, not Team 2. There's Team 2. They don't know about it. They're dropping a payload as... they're dropping a payload as they fly by. Oh, don't get your own ASFs. Ooh, has a little bit of singeing there. Bombers will drop a payload on top of the air grid, it looks like. No, I don't think they recharge in time. Oh, 1 bomber just gets annihilated before it has a chance. Nuke is inbound from Team 2's Turbo Puck. Bomber goes off screen for a moment because just of the trajectory that it had. It's going to swing back here in a second. We do have a little bit of airlocking from Team 2 to Team 1 side. Bomber will drop a payload. And there's a little bit of a gap. They do notice the nuke. They might want to grab that nuke a little bit more. Oh, kills off a lot of the shielding. There's an opportunity. There's a mass fab there. There's some P-gens there. It is worth going after the nuke. Oh, it's not going to go after the nuke. Oh, you got to drop the payload. There is the payload right next to the... No, not actually right next to the nuke. Oh, it's going to go after the T3 air raid quarters, which it still grabs the nuke. Ooh. Well, Team 2's Ryphoon definitely redeemed that first bomber that died, because that's got to hurt. No anti-nuke, says August. They wiped that out as well. There's an SMD there, though, but again, the nuke is going to go this way, so they have to wipe out that SMD there. They probably don't know it's there, to be honest. They do know it's there. Kill says Yotobai, talking about the mass fab farm to the east of that. There's a lot of AA built. It's probably not worth it. You might get 1 pass, but it won't be worth the destruction of the bomber because it's not going to crack the shielding in 1 pass. And looks like it's going to drop a payload on a couple of bouncers. I mean, that might not be too bad. It will die, though, 1,000%. But the chicken's going to definitely be appreciative of that a little bit. All those bouncers are dead. So more Air Forces can come in and say hi. There's more bouncers there, though, so there's that. Oh, actually, those are Cougars. Never mind. Those are bouncers. We have a megalith being surrounded by Othams and whatnot. Not really by its own... Like, it wasn't being forced by Team 2 to be surrounded. They just kind of walked into the mix. But the T3 air raid quarters going down, that's got to hurt. Multiple SMDs have now been built. Looks like a secondary air grid was forming up into the northwest. T2 almost back up to T3. It's going to build some ASFs there shortly. There was a lot of mass dropped on Team 1's doorstep, but they did kill off a nuke, so... Okay, Mayborn has been started for Team 1 in the northeast by Universal. Let's see if anybody else on Team 1 will help. Okay, you don't need to build 2 of them at the same time, but okay, you're building an artillery and that's almost done, so I can't fault them for that. This, though, I mean, if you're going to build a game ender, just build one together, not build one that's like independently of one another. We do see actually it's Infro building it with some engineer assistance from Team 1's Universal, so technically both of them are building it, but Currently, only one of them is contributing mass. Looks like somebody will contribute some shortly. First chicken is down. Fat Boy probably from Team 1, maybe from Team 2. Chicken trying to dodge some Fat Boy shots. Wow, actually not bad, but it's hardly making progress to catch up to the Fat Boys, so it's kind of a mix of, well, you're dodging, but you're not getting close, but you're dodging, but you're not getting close. So Team 2 has your eco. It's back up to 2.1 to 2.3. Team 1's at 2.5. I don't see any big ticket items yet. Maybe artillery there. Maybe artillery there. YOLO here. Maybe Team 1 has noticed it. We have Mavor here. Novaks. There's somebody just start a Paragon. So that way I can say 4 game enders made at least an appearance. Mavor being pointed out by somebody. Infra. Why did Team 1's own... What? Oh, I think they're saying to Team 1, hey, by the way, there's a Mavor being built here. And it's progressing pretty well. It's already over 25%. And, yeah, both teams... Stop sending mass so I can look at the chat. Stop it. Mavor is on the right. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know why they have to point that out to their teammates, but, you know, sometimes it's just nice to say, hey, there's a thing here. What's the range on that artillery? Nah. Ooh, it's barely within range of the Mavor. Look at that. Mavor is over 50% in climbing. That's what I'd like to see in shield-wise. They need to get their shields online sooner because artillery is bombarding them now. That's not a, oh, we should probably go get shielding after. No, you get shielding before, technically, but definitely now that it's being shot at. Team 1 has an SMD there. They have an SMD there. I don't think it's within range if they focus the Mavor first. Does Team 2 even know what's going on? Nope. And nope, they don't know where the artillery is. They just know it's a big amount of mass up there for IP. And looks like the leaders for Eco are Info at 750 and then IP for Team 1 at almost 700. Team 2, we have 3 players at 500, almost at 600 for Yitterby. But Ryfoon's at 560 and then Hoppy's at 575 with August at 18. But again, he's been kind of hit for a lot, so he just hasn't had the chance to really rebuild. And looks like the artillery did hit the YOLO because it was definitely higher than 50%. And now we see the shield focus from Team 2's Ryfoon. If he gets veterancy with the YOLO, it should be fine with the regen. He needs to make sure he has an SMD, which he does. And just make sure he gets those shielding online. Oh, no, there goes the transport. Artillery is firing, says August. And it's only one, so especially with T3 Seraphim shielding, one should not be enough from Team 1 to deal with that. They need a little bit more firepower than that. The Mavor would be enough for sure. Oh, and it's going. He is going. Specifically, that one is a he for obvious reasons. If I have to explain it to you, then... Anyway, I'll just probably ignore it. I'll just leave it at that. Mavor is over 25% done for Team 2. So Team 2 does have a backup, and they have a nuke. So maybe the hope is nuke it with killing off the SMD. And it actually, the SMD is... Oh, I was going to say, don't think it's being clipped by that other shield. It might be something like this. It's pretty darn close. So they might be able to get away with going this way with some strats and not having to do with 2 shielding. You know, charges or capacities, just 1. We have SMDs being built in the middle. And YOLO is about done. It's probably at like 90% or so. Shielding is still coming online. They need to go all day, every day, because that Mavor is now done. There he is. The overcompensator himself is online. There it is. Teamwork makes the dream work. 2 players contributed to this Mavor. Love to see it. Don't do artillery left, says Ruling. Probably saying, hey, just don't worry about it. And now the artillery going after the air grid, it looks like. It's unshielded, so there's that. More mass fab farms being built away from the base. Very smart on that grounds. We do see the transport trend has come back a little bit. Not come back a little bit. He's just using it. It says 66%. It's definitely not 66% because the orange bar at the bottom. T1 engineers, T2 engineers, maybe T3 engineers. Everything's in that mix. There's the YOLO. Everyone's going to always... I was like, where'd that power go? That was... that's not good. Needs more power. Ooh, that's not good. And looks like the Mavor is it's still progressing. It's slowing down, though. And the shots are landing at the air grid. And there goes Team 2's player of August. He control K's, it looks like. I don't see. Oh, I mean, those are mass fabs. Maybe he got hit by the mass fabs, maybe? Maybe, but well, he's been eliminated from the game one way or the other, so now it's an officially in favor for Team 1 at 5v4. He was pretty much knocked out of the game anyway, so technically it was still a 5v4, but it just wasn't official. And now we have the Mavor focusing on the YOLO. Again, the YOLO, it does have a lot of shielding. One Mavor could shoot through it, but it's going to take a minute. And the YOLO hasn't fired yet. We have spy planes inbound. Team 2 getting a lot of annoyances, trying to get some readouts of what Team 1's up to. And this is what Team 1 can see on Team 2's side of the map. They know about the YOLO's existence. And then Team 2, this is what they know about Team 1. They know where the Mavor is, and there's multiple SMDs being built now. The question is, can they load them fast enough? The answer to that question is there is one loaded here at 2, so they have one deterrence, but are they going to have enough? How's that Scathis doing? Scathis been ignored. Second artillery has started. So there's technically 2 artillery placements targeting that YOLO. Team 2 is Hoppy, not looking too great. Needs to get out of range. He's trying to dance, but it's really hard to dance against 2 chickens. And yeah, he's going to die here very shortly. There's 1 and there's 2. Kills off some ASFs in his walking by. The YOLO is out of shielding. That's not good. Ooh, that's a chunk. Has he even fired it? He has fired 1 YOLO. He needs to fire, I think. Oh, that shield is going down. Oh, and there it goes. Oh, that's got to hurt. I can't even, says Ryfoon. That's got to hurt. Ooh. He did take a little bit of damage, but he's fine. No worth on this wide a map, says Hoppy. And Mavor is almost done. Does Team 1 aware of it? They are going to be aware of it here shortly. But they aren't aware of it 100%. With the YOLO dead, it's best. I won ground, but couldn't continue because had to make yeah, he just kind of ran out of power. So that wasn't helpful. He doesn't have to worry about power now. Mavor is greater than YOLO. Again, every scenario is different. If you have enough shielding and enough power and enough engineers assisting, it doesn't even matter. But Team 2 loses Turbo Puck to a Control K, and that's a legitimate one. That was not a, artillery hit him and P-Gens blew him up or whatever. That was a legitimate, he just straight up Control K'd. And looks like Mavor has been stopped for now. That is unfortunate. Team 2 loses another player, so now it is a 5v2 in favor for Team 1. GG's in the chat from Infro. Yeah, with 1 player gone, the other player gone as well from August as well, and Wolf and Turbo Puck and whatnot. Artillery is raining in on that Mavor, and that's a dead Mavor. Yep, there it goes. Gunships were also inbound from Team 1 as well that just killed that thing off, so there's that. So now it's just the beginning of the end. The YOLO was there for a moment, but not enough for Team 2 to win back. They needed 2 missiles, and they fired 1 of them because they wouldn't have loaded in time. Yeah, because they're all spent. So maybe they would have gotten lucky, but no. 2 chickens inbound. Ryfoon getting some some shielding and some PD. And wipes out the remaining air grid and all the P-Gens and whatnot. So Chicken just trying to stay out of range of that. Reclaim has already scooped up that YOLO. And artillery now from a Seraphim variety, I believe. That's a Seraphim variety one if I've ever seen one. Chicken's taking some damage. That's not looking good. Oh, yeah, just, again, that's the problem with the Ravagers is you can kind of dodge the shots. It depends on the unit. There are some units that are very good at it, of course, but it's just not looking good for Team 2. 50 minutes in climbing. And Chicken. That one's going to stay out of range. This one's going to take the brunt, if I could talk, of the damage. Team 1, Strat Bombers. Where is the... there's an artillery there, an emissary from Infro. There's the artillery. I was going to say, where's the Seraphim players for Team 1? They're somewhere around there. And eastern side, we have the two fat boys pushing in. And, yeah, it's just not really much left for Team 2. 122,000 mass kill, but the YOLO did very well for that Ythotha. That chicken buck. And 123. 26. Transport picks up the comm. Kills off the chicken, but I don't know where he's going to go with this comm. ASFs might come and say hi. He goes off the map for a second. Oh, the gunship spot him. Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Oh, all the ASFs are dead, but he's dead. And now it is a 5v1 with Yotobai, the last remaining player. Will he teleport out of there to safety? Will he blow up? We shall see. Artillery constantly raining in. What's that Mavor mass killed off? 480,000? And really good Mavor. Yeah, really good. Usually it's about 250 to 300 is what I normally see for game enders, not obviously including Paragon, because they don't have mass killed. And he gets he's like, nope, not letting you shoot at me. That's the game here, folks. 1 death on Team 1 being ruling, shy of a flawless victory. But as a win nonetheless for Team 1. MVPs for me, I think the working together, both Infro and Universal, got that Mavor done a lot sooner than it originally was going to be. The YOLO took obviously longer to build because of that, even though it was started sooner, I believe. So it was finished in the shorter amount of time, got enough shots off to kill off the YOLO. Once the YOLO was gone, then it was kind of just the downhill fall of everything else from Team 2. So I think a combination of Universal and Infro for that combo, that one play, I think, won the game for Team 1. And there were other plays, chickens assaulting down the middle. This Eastern assault with the Monkeywood did a lot of work as well from, I think that was from IP, because I think it was a monkey, so it would have been either him or Ray. Ray could have done it. I just can't remember who did. Anyway, it doesn't matter really who did it at this point, but that Monkeywood definitely was a nice, half the way game move, and then the in-game move that pretty much won the game was the Mavor combination. Again, if it was only one player building it, it would have taken longer. Taking longer means it wasn't online sooner. Not online sooner means it probably didn't beat out the YOLO. YOLO maybe would have targeted it, maybe not would have targeted it, but in general, it would have been done sooner and more stuff would have been blown up, and it would have been a whole thing. So let me know down in the comments again what you thought the best move of the game was, what you thought deserves MVP. Thanks so much for watching the very end of the video as always, and I will see all of you in the next one.